I'm back with another triggering topic. Now, here's another episode of the Preference to Baby Mama Pipeline. Please watch this, and I'll be back.
You don't want to take care of your daughter. You just told me you were going to take her today.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
Now you don't want her. This is exactly what I'm talking when you're a fucking neglectful ass father. If I'm not there with you, you don't want her.
bro, that's not true.
Exactly what I'm talking about. See? Exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as I'm trying to...
Say something for the people that were saying, oh, he did this because you're talking too much. This video was taken hours after he's been chasing me around the whole city. We had an argument in the car and I walked out because I'm like, I don't want to argue. And as I walked out, he didn't want me to leave, so he started chasing me everywhere around. He would pick me up and put me back in the car for hours. So by the time that video was taken, I was already mentally and physically drained.
Now, I feel empathy for this girl. I do. And I think that domestic violence is a horrible thing for any woman to have to go through. Honestly. But when I saw this video, it proved several points that I want to touch on. First of all, looking at her baby daddy, father of her child, whatever you want to call him, he looks like he would be the exact type of Negro in somebody's comments talking about white women, foreign women, and I think this woman is Russian or better and more submissive than black women and all that mess. But if that's the case, then why are you harming them too? Why don't you give them better treatment? Because if you're saying that you value something and you don't treat it like it's valuable, or you treat it the same as something that you claim that you don't value, then guess what? You don't value anything. And then I find it ironic that in her comments, a lot of men were saying that she was talking too much and she was too aggressive, which she wasn't. And we've got to stop with this whole narrative that a woman has to be silent in the face of disrespect at the hands of a man because that can provoke him to quote unquote violence and rage. Because if y'all are supposed to be the logical and so-called unemotional ones, then we shouldn't have to do that. But y'all stay saying that. And it's giving gaslighting. It's giving y'all are the true emotional ones because honestly, this whole trope of women being emotional and men not being emotional was actually ridiculous. Now, I know I'm going to get off track a bit, but I promise you it's going to all come together. Now, let me say this. If women are supposed to be so emotional and you have men constantly provoking those emotions with their disrespect of women, infidelity, not being loyal, abusive, taking these women for granted, if we feel all of these emotions so deeply and we are so-called ruled by them, then why don't we have the right to go upside your head when you trigger them? Wouldn't we be unable to help it? But it's funny, women don't do that. They control themselves. They aren't out here unaliving men or sneaking them and hitting them with bats when their emotions get triggered. Now, I'm not saying that you won't find a few women that have done it for the men that will try to disregard what I'm saying, but it doesn't happen statistically at any notable level. However, the men that are supposed to be ruled by the head let a tone of voice cause them to beat on a woman that birthed their child in front of that child. Make it make sense. The math isn't mathing. Now, let me get back to the young woman. Now, a lot of men were in her comments telling her that she was talking too loud, being too aggressive and masculine when she was dealing with her baby daddy. But if you listen to what she said that she was frustrated and she was physically and mentally drained by what her baby daddy was doing. And it caused that type of quote unquote aggressive or masculine response. So if the so-called preferences that are supposed to be so soft and sweet and submissive and feminine become aggressive and masculine when dealing with these pookies and buck-broken bandits, and they haven't even been dealing with them for that long, then what type of responses or demeanor do you think that the women in their own communities have to have or develop when dealing with these piss-poor, pathetic pookies? Food for thought, huh? And what's crazy is no matter what type of abuse a woman receives from a man, there will always be men right there to justify it and excuse it away. Now, this girl had another video where she posted her bruises, where she had called the police on this man, and some dude commented, and y'all can see above, he said 2 sides to the story. And if you go to his page, which I did, look at him. He's got the whole wife beater mustache thing going on, and you can't tell me that any woman that gets involved with him does not have her head knocked between the washer and dryer daily. I'm trying to make a point, y'all. Please bear with me. The point I'm trying to make is, if you're saying that the women in your community, Black women, are just all inherently bad or masculine and single mothers, and then when you go outside and you choose completely different women, and then when you're with them, you get the same reactions from them, you're making them quote unquote loud or angry or masculine, and you're making them single mothers 92% of the time, you can't do that and not act like you're not the freaking problem. And the fact that no one seems to be making this correlation is driving me insane. It's just a sad state of affairs. But I digress. If you watched this whole video, please drop a 2 in the comments, and you already know why. Because what? That man was boo-boo. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help me get my podcast popping, then that's no problem at all. Just do me a free favor and subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in my bio. Hit the notification bell, drop me a like, and as always, drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.